Hi everyone, welcome to the Stage 16 betting preview of the Tour de France. We've had a rest day, very much needed for those of us who do previews and bet on every stage, and I'm sure very much needed for the riders as well. A reminder about the World Sports Betting money back for second place promotion. And yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into this one. But before we do that, let's wrap up stage 15. And yeah, we had the win at last for Philipsen. He's been trying so hard for this one. I must admit, I called the stage on Sunday totally wrong, in the sense that I really thought the initial break would stick. It would be a big break, and that those breakaway riders would fight it out. I backed a lot of long shots. I spent a lot more money than I normally do. Still up 14 units for the Tour de France, but I gave back 5.5 units on the stage. A bit disappointing, that one. And I'd also backed 5-1 that the winning margin would be more than 10 seconds, which certainly wasn't the case. It was a bunch sprint. Not many of the sprinters got left behind. Even the likes of Dylan Groenewegen got into it, but he couldn't deliver, unfortunately, for all that his team had done. In the end, it was Philipsen who beat Wout van Aert, who just seems to be a man that is so talented. He can climb. He marks the early moves. He got into the breakaway initially. I mean, this guy can just do anything. He's absolutely superhuman. Mats Pedersen in third. And Peter Sagan, promising signs from him there in fourth place. Danny van Poppel, he also rode a good race there in fifth. Right, let's have a look then at the rankings. We didn't have any general classification battles, but I want to spend a bit of time on this because we're now heading into the business end of... where am I going? Sorry, I've clicked on the wrong thing there. We're now heading into the business, really very much the business end of the race. It looks a two-horse race. The betting certainly suggests it is. We got Vingegaard here, 2 minutes, 22 seconds ahead of Pogacar. Thomas a further 21 seconds back in third. Bardet 3 minutes back. And Adam Yates 4 minutes and 6 seconds back. I want to just, we can focus on it when we look at the route as well, but just to have a look at some tactics that might be applied. Vingegaard, well, he's lost 2 of his teammates. He lost Kruijswijk to an accident, and Rogic also ultimately injuries from an accident he abandoned before Sunday's stage. So he's down a lot of riders. It's going to mean controlling stages is that bit more difficult. He's going to have to use his team wisely. Pogacar, well, his team has never been that strong, but I would say it's much more even now. And in fact, I might even give him the edge of having the stronger team in the mountains now. The team that have got the trump cards to play, they certainly have. I mean, let's face it, Vingegaard and Pogacar have looked the strongest riders, no doubt about that. But the team with the aces to play now is Team Ineos. Here we got Thomas in third and Adam Yates. If this man can find his legs, he's 4 minutes and 6 seconds behind. They are in a position where they can put certainly the team of Jumbo-Visma and possibly even Pogacar under some pressure. Just going further down, Tom Pidcock also 8 minutes and 49 down. Will they be bold enough to try and get him into the break? We'll have to have a look. Let's also just quickly touch on the King of the Mountains rankings as well, because this is quite interesting. Unfortunately, with Louis Meintjes gaining all that time the other day, he's no longer probably going for this jersey. Not that I'm 100% sure he was anyway. But he's 7 points behind Geshka. You've got Paulus, who's been looking pretty good at 37 points. And then, Vingegaard at 36. But it's incredibly close as King of the Mountains jersey. No outright favorite. We're going to have a look at the classifications now. And here we have a look at the mountains. We got Pogacar there 4-1, Vingegaard 5-1. What this tells you is that the bookies are expecting one of the favorites to win this King of the Mountains jersey. I'm not sure about that. Looking ahead, we've got a couple of big mountain stages finishing on mountains. Sure, the guys will want to sprint for them, but I'm not convinced anymore that these top guys have got the team to control the races, and I think we're in for a week of breakaway winners. Let's have a look. Can we find value elsewhere then? Where we got Ciccone at 6-1, Thibaut Pinot at 8-1. I'll have a good look at that probably after tomorrow's stage and see if I can find a bet in that one. General classification, we've got Vingegaard. He's around about the 5-10 mark. Pogacar, you can get 22-10. I've seen about him, and Geraint Thomas 14-1. Team classification and the young rider classification, as well as the green, are pretty much wrapped up. Can't see anything happening there. Let's get on to the stage then. And here we've got a stage tomorrow, 178.5 kilometers. And we've got 4 categorized climbs. A couple early on. It's a fairly easy start, which means, what sort of riders going to get into the breakaway? There are going to be plenty of riders trying their hand, and you may get a few non-climbers in there as well, because the start's not that tough, although you do have a small Cat 4 climb here, 1.5 kilometers at 6.6%, and then you've got 5.3 kilometers at 5% here, this Cat 3. I expect the break might go around about that time. We then got a fairly flattish section for quite a while. You've got the sprint in there before we hit 2 very, very tough climbs. 11.4 kilometers at 7% here. It's a Cat 1. Starts off about 113 kilometers. And then there's a descent. And then have a look at this one, 9.3 kilometers at 7.9 But what I want to go to on this is just show you the profile, and I haven't checked that it's on here, but we normally get the final climb on here. I don't know why I don't always get all of them. Here we go. That's actually the first Cat 1, and here we go. Look, how about these ramps at the end here? So yes, it only averages 7.9%. I say only, that's still pretty steep. But look at this, 13%, 12.6%, 11, 11, patches of 18, patches of 16. The last 4 kilometers are absolutely brutal. What do we have after that? After the last 4 kilometers, we descend down almost all the way into the finish. So if you could do the damage there, you could certainly make a difference. What sort of stage are we going to get? Well, frankly, I think we're going to get a breakaway winning this stage. I think they're going to win it by quite a long way. I imagine that Jumbo-Visma will control the break and make sure that no one too strong goes in it. What I would love to see is a team like Ineos try and stick someone like Pidcock into the break. I don't think they're going to let him go easily, but at the end of the day, if they keep trying, you never know, they could succeed, and it would make for a very exciting stage indeed. As I say, I think later in the week, Adam Yates is going to be a key player, because if he is strong enough, and at his best form, he is strong enough to ride with the likes of Pogacar and Vingegaard. If he can attack and Thomas can just sit on the wheel, it could make things very, very interesting. But at the moment, it is hard to look past those two guys. We should be in for a good stage. Let's have a look what my bets are on the stage. I'm taking it a little bit easy in this one. I've been, as I say, still doing nicely, but got a little bit burnt in the last one. I'm going. Well, let's quickly actually have a look at the betting. I'll pop onto. Let me actually pop onto Bet Exchange for the betting here. We've got Pogacar 6-1, Pinot 10, Caruso 14, Bettiol, who's been looking very good. This, and he certainly looks like he's got the legs for the stage. He's 14. Martinez, who's showing signs of recovery at 14, and Bob Jungels, who we did back at 50-1 earlier in the race at 20-1 there. I won't go any further down. My 2 picks for this stage are actually quite near the top of the betting. I like Caruso. He seems to be coming to hand. He lost a lot of time. He would have fancied himself for a strong finish on the general classification, but he is showing signs of coming to form, and he's definitely strong enough to finish this off. He's 14-1. And then Martinez from Ineos. Ineos will, of course, look to have riders there just to further secure the team competition. But Martinez is another. He wasn't well in the first sort of week and a half, and he started coming right now. And if this man comes back to his best, well, he's going to be very hard to beat. So I've got a unit on each of those guys at 14-1, and then half a unit on poor old Kron at 15-1. And I say poor old Kron because this guy has had troubles. When he was in the break the other day, he was, I think, clear with 2 other riders, and he got a puncture then. And he also got a mechanical problem on Sunday's stage as well. So he's had a lot of bad luck. What we do know is this man has got great legs, and I think he can hang in over that final climb. If we go back to the profile of the final climb, it's very interesting with this long descent, because, yes, you could have a guy cresting the final climb 30 to 40 seconds ahead. There's every chance of a regrouping on this final climb because it's a long descent. And obviously a really great descender might be able to, I mean, if a guy like Pidcock gets over here with an advantage, you'll never see him again. But if a guy like Thibaut Pinot, for example, gets over here with an advantage, there's every chance that there'll be a regrouping and a sort of a collective bunch sprint finish. So going to be very interesting to see which way that goes. I'm looking forward to the race. That's if I can watch it. I'm sitting here now. I can tell you we've had 27 hours without power. I've put the generator on tonight just to get this preview done. Be switching it off now for the sake of the neighbors. But unbelievable how much power failures we're having here. If anybody watching this from anywhere overseas wants to take me under their wing and adopt me, you can take me over there anytime. I'll come and watch the Tour de France or something like that, because it's unbelievable what we're going through here at the moment. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the stage, and we'll catch up with you on, what will it be, Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning for the preview of Stage 17, which is a big clash in the Pyrenees.